typically come to you all pretty masked. I'm an autistic person and I have a hard time compartmentalizing my emotions, but I'm not going to do you that favor today. I'm pretty pissed off today. I want to thank my friend Amy for sharing that news. It's a good segue into kind of what I'm most frustrated about this ideological inconsistency. We move mountains to make sure that those pictures off of Charleston Pike were addressed, right? And I think we all are in agreement. When we saw that aerial view, we thought, right? Regardless of how you stood, on how you responded, we all said, that's an issue. And I'm really grateful, like I knew would happen. Folks stepped up and made that happen. There are not enough trash bags to fill all of the toxic plume with. Do you understand? Send letter, response, and it was released. It's rhetorical. If you have, I would appreciate a hand wave. But did y'all read ComEd's plan? Did you read it? The EPA said nearly 30 years ago, you should sequester that mess that's in the ground. You should get it out of there. It's not safe and it shouldn't be there. Like I said last time, this was in the 90s. We're still on the back end of that Reagan, greed is good. Remember that? Greed is good. Let's keep our bank accounts flush. And so the EPA said, what's best? If it were me, I'd sequester it. I'd get it out of the ground. But if you want to keep your accounts flushed, here's some things you can do. And they minimize kind of the sequestering plan. You should get it all, but you can get this. And then you should install a particular amount of wells. Like Mr. Feeney, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to pretend I am. I want to preface that with, I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know. But neither do you. Neither do they. No one does. And the EPA said, because we don't know, there is a best practice for this. And that is to sequester all of the pollution and toxic sludge out of the ground. I want to pose a few irritated but thoughtful premises here. I wonder if this was, I don't know, in the 4th or 5th ward near downtown, we found out there was a toxic plume full of cancerous causing sludge right next to Yoctangi Park. I wonder if we go, well, how cheap can we make it? I wonder if it was on Gables or up near the university. I wonder, would we be going so slowly? I have my answer to that question. You might have your own. I don't know. I'm pretty irritated, right? I think other people here are irritated. If you read the comment section of NBC4, none of us are scientists, but it's clear. The EPA asked for 4 wells. They said, no, we'll give you 2. We'll give you 2 in the complete opposite direction of the most viable censoring wells. What's at stake? I remember just a few months ago, one of the contamination threats was the Scioto River. If flood comes in and washes those homeless folks' things away, it's going to contaminate the Scioto River. Have you looked at the map? Have you seen the potential contamination? Again, I don't know. Neither does the EPA. That's why they made a map. But it's like right there on the Scioto River. Right there. It's right there. I'm not a scientist, but I'm certain. Underwear and socks and tents and canned goods will not destroy the Scioto River the way cancer-causing toxic plume chemicals will, right? We moved heaven and earth to make sure we held homeless people accountable, to let them know, not in this city. You cannot pollute in this city and leave that waste lay. We will not allow it. So what's the plan? What's the plan? I offer that we bring them in publicly. Here's what I know. I think that powerful, big money actors get to have private meetings in rooms where they aren't held accountable by angry, frivolous people like me. And inside of those doors, people like me aren't heard. They do the most cost-effective thing. I don't want the cost-effective thing. I want the safest thing. I hope you all want the safest thing. I know you do. I know you do. I just think it's uncomfortable. I get that. It's uncomfortable. I get maybe this is irritating to some of you. But I know you don't want a toxic plume potentially destroying, soil, air, and water on the east end. I know you don't want that. So I'm just asking, make someone come tell us that it's not going to happen. And I just real quick, has anyone called Bernie Marino? Maybe he could help us out here. I was supposed to be Joe, but thank you.
I am also not a scientist or anybody concerned. I will say, doing my own research throughout the years, I remember hearing about this particular plume back when Gladfelter, I believe, was selling it. And this was the initial plan. I may have even attended a meeting like this. And I don't know if you all realize, but we live in a huge cancer cluster. My first wife, we separated. She died of cancer. That is, in this area, it happens at a very extreme level. And it is connected more to the DuPont up in Circleville, which is where she had ties to. But the point is, it's not just DuPont. It's this entire area has really sacrificed many things for the public good, be our well-being, our citizenry, or the business aspect of things. We have a housing situation here that obviously has been addressed by this council several times, to many people's satisfaction and some people's extreme dissatisfaction. I'm glad to hear that the sites have been cleaned, and I'm glad to hear that things are moving on that. But people will continue to be watching, because I lived in West Virginia at one point. Are you all familiar with Nitro, West Virginia, whatsoever? Do you know about the toxic crap that's there, in there? Yeah? Okay. We're not even talking about everything that's sitting on site at the Pixel place. All of the heavy metals that have been grandfathered in, all of the, there's stories you can find in the documentary where they used to spray these chemicals on people, on scabs, on people trying to unionize. There's history that is gross about that plant. Regardless of the good people that have worked there and the positives that it's had for this company, this town, the people, generationally. Not trying to negate any of that. But the reality is it's killing us. And to pretend otherwise is doing the people who elect you all an extreme disservice. And if you all have an ounce of power more than the people sitting in this room, you should contact those politicians like Moreno or Taylor, somebody who does the lip service and then leaves us all holding the bag with some dead family.